Welcome to cityofislandfishing.blogspot.com. I'd like to provide a summary of a recent day trip that we took to Oklahoma, specifically Davis, Oklahoma, at the Turner Falls Park. We had found out that they were stocking trout and opening it up for fishing on the 22nd of November. Weren't able to make it on the 22nd, but we did go the next day, the 23rd, a Sunday, and were able to give it a go at some rainbow trout. So we want to just give a summary of how we got there and some key points of interest on the way, as well as some key things that we noticed while we were fishing. So we started in Texas, ran across the border, took Highway 35, and at exit 47 exited Highway 35 and went on to State Highway 77. So right over here is exit 47, and we just followed along here. Right over here you'll notice a bend in the road. Let's see if I can get a better look at that. Here we go. Right here. So right here, and the park is pretty much situated in this area right here. Okay. So let's zoom in, and I'd like to point out that you're on the right track is when you get to the first bend in the road on Highway 77, and to your left as you're heading north on 77 is a souvenir shop. So right over here. You follow along the curve and you'll see this pretty windy road, and you'll pass another what is actually the exit to the park on your left. You need to continue past that exit till you get to the entrance, which is just a little bit more up the road right over here. Let's go ahead and zoom in just some more. All right, so here's where you exit, and you'll see this lane, pretty wide open lane. You'll come in through here, and you'll come to the toll booths or entrance or gate, and here's where you'll pay. And for fishing for the rainbow trout, you have to purchase a Turner Falls trout fishing permit, and it's good for one day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you have a limit of 5 fish per day, so different than the 6 trout that limit that is pertains to Oklahoma in general. So in the park itself, you can only get 5 fish per day as your limit. And the trout fishing permit goes for $15 with another $1.43 tacked on for tax purposes. So $16.43 gets you through the gate and opens up an area to fishing. So as you get through the gate attendant told us that we needed to go past 2 water crossings and make a left, and then you'll see a parking area, and in that area is where you would park, and then you'd walk about 2 blocks down the road to get to the waterfall area, but we'll show you that here shortly. So you come through the gate and you follow this road here to the first low water crossing. Okay, here's I think this is their headquarters or office area, and also looked like there was a restaurant over here, and then some restrooms, and I think it was a shower area as well. So pretty interesting, and you can see there's a bunch of different cabins and places to stay, and around here you can see the water. Right, and the water is actually flowing in this direction, and this is what they call the blue hole, which also has a bunch of water activity like slides and whatnot that look like it's pretty popular in the summer. Anyways, we head down this road and you'll get through the first water crossing, which is right about here. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Alright, so there's the first water crossing right here, and then you follow the bend and you get to the second water crossing, which is right here, right there, and all along here is the river, and you see how easy it is to access the river. You just got rocks and whatnot here to contend with, but you should be careful because you may slip and fall, and there's a lot of warning signs everywhere. But that said, there's the river, there's a road, there's some parking areas further down here, and you can pretty much walk this area and fish it. One thing that we noticed also was they have a shower restroom area here that's heated, which is nice in the winter. So it's pretty convenient. Anyways, as you go past the second low water crossing, you'll notice how the road forks. Not sure what goes this way, but on we follow what the gate attendant told us, which was make a left and get into the parking area. And you pretty much can park anywhere from here all along to a blocked off area that has look like in the summer there's like another gift shop or store or little food stand and whatnot. Where we ended up parking was pretty much about 3-4 parking spots down from the area that was blocked. And right here is the river. And it's called Honey Creek. It comes all along here. And like we said, it flows this direction. So in a northerly direction. And let's see. Here is the waterfall, which is pretty cool. And here's where you can walk about a couple blocks right here. And if it comes to having to bring your waders and you decide to wade into the waterfall area, that's probably where you need your waders. Other than that, a pair of hip waders or some high ankle boots, rubber boots, would take care of you anywhere along this stretch. Mainly because there's another water crossing here that you can cross, and also you can work the riffles and whatnot. So, well, let's get back to where we part. Okay, so pretty much we parked right about here, and you can see there's a gate, and you pretty much just follow along right here. And being new, we decided to just go ahead and walk all the way to Waterfall and check things out. So came up through here along this walking path, and all along here's the river, and here is the waterfall. Right. Trying to get a better angle. It's about a 70-something foot drop off, and over here is a look like restrooms, as well as it looks like a recreation area as well that folks go into. And when we first got here that morning, met up with a couple of fishermen that were fishing close to the waterfall. You can't really see, but it was right over here, and they pretty much had to limit themselves. One nice looking one, and several just your average size stockers that you see, similar like the ones that we see back in Texas. They were using it looked like bait, power bait, as well as Panther Martin spinners. And then we did notice the water was flowing fairly good, and you could still see this rock, and you could still see this part of the rock, but you could not see some of these other rocks that are currently submerged here. One thing I'd like to point out also is later on when we were fishing the waterfall area, a lot of our strikes were in this area as well as over here. And we were fishing with a strike indicator and a near deer, and got a good amount of strikes. We also saw another individual later on fishing this area and pretty much catching them one after the other in this area. So keep that in mind when you decide to fish the waterfall area. That it looks like it holds trout, and over here closer to the rocks as well as back in here seem to be some good places to try. Ourselves, when we tried, didn't do well in the waterfall area initially. However, on the way back, we ended up fishing from over here and just letting our line go into one of these riffles and pools, and ended up hooking into one, and ended up also losing it right in here. So we ended up working our way around back along this bank, and then came all the way back down here and went across this water crossing and worked our way back up through these different pools and whatnot. And it's fairly shallow. You can see some pockets here and there, but didn't get any more strikes up until we got back up to where we lost that first one, and pretty much went across the water into this one little island-like thing, and we ended up casting into this pool area and was able to hook in our first one that morning. So here's where we got our first one. Good stuff. So keep that in mind that we did work these different pools, didn't get any hits, but eventually we feel that there's probably going to be one or two lurking in here. So it's always good to have some polarized glasses, check it out, and maybe you might see one or two and give it a shot. Where we did do well is at this water crossing right here. I guess you'd call it the third water or low water crossing, and this one pool that was holding a good amount of trout. Ended up catching maybe 10 or so here, catching and releasing. I think we kept 2 before we started getting picky on getting some larger ones. But bottom line, they were in this pool. Didn't fish this area over here, although there were some pockets to probably try at some point. Where we did go to was this pool over here, which is a pretty nice looking pool that with deep water. And what's nice about it is there's a like rock-like ledge-like thing with a little picnic table here, and you can just kind of see that the water flowing through there is deeper. So we ended up staging ourselves here and pretty much working good part of the day fishing this area right here. And we ended up getting one that went about maybe 14-15 inches and another one that went about 14-15 inches here. So not bad. And we did catch maybe 10 or 20 trout as well, and catching and releasing them. And then we started working our way along the river here for just a little ways till we got to our car and started working these different pockets here. Didn't see anything lurking, but it's not to say that there isn't anything there, but we didn't hook up, but it did look promising. And then we ended up going back up to the waterfall area and taking a switch rod and casting out deeper into the pool since we were wet wading, didn't want to go all the way into the water, just mainly went up to our knees, and got a fair amount that way. And then as we were packing up and we had our limit already, decided to go ahead and try one more spot, and we tried this area here and ended up getting one that probably went about 16 inches just in one of these pools along this area here. Alright, so you'll just, it's deceiving, it doesn't look very deep, but it was surprising to catch that last one that probably went about 16 inches. And ended up letting them go, so there's maybe there still. So, a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun fishing the area, and probably sooner or later we'll probably make another trip here. But we also do like the Blue River, so we'll also probably be hitting the Blue River as well. So that was our trip to Turner Falls in Davis, Oklahoma. And if you want to see some more of the action, we do have a video posted on our YouTube channel. Just do a search on City of Allen Fishing and YouTube, and you'll get to that channel, and you'll be able to see what we did that day, or at least snippets of what we did that day. All right, so that's all we had this round. Till next time, we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.